Selamun Aleyküm ve Rahmetullahi ve Berekatuhu. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Vessalatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin seyyidil evvelin ve ahirin. Meded ya Resulullah, meded ya saadet ashabi Resul, meded ya meşayihna. Destur Mevla Şam'la Fazla Hasan Mevla Şam Muhammed Nazım Hakkani. Meded tarikatuna as-suhba vel hayru fil cemiyye. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ve la taqrabu ma'al yetimi illa billati ahsan. Tabla şudu fil kalam mizan bil qasd ve la taqrabu الحق ولا yani sadakallahul azim. Bu haklara riayet edin diyor Allah Azze ve Celle.
Allah Almighty commands respect others' rights.
Kimsenin hakkını yemeyin.
Do not violate anyone's rights.
Hak onun, Allah her şeyi affeder.
Allah Almighty may forgive everything.
Affedicidir Allah.
He Almighty Allah is the merciful one, the forgiving one.
Ama kul hakkını kul ancak ondan helallik istersin ya onun hakkını verirsin ki.
However, if you violate a person's right, then you must seek the forgiveness of the person whose right you have violated, or you must make up for the violation.
Hakkı boynunda kalmasın.
In order to release yourself from the burden of having violated a person's right, you must seek a person's forgiveness, or you must make up for it for that person, and that person must forgive you.
O hak kıyamete kalırsa iş zor olur.
If you do not succeed in releasing yourself from the burden of having violated a person's right, then it will be difficult for you on the day of judgment.
Senin sevaplarından alıp ona verir.
Allah Almighty will take from your rewards and give those rewards to the person whose rights you have violated.
Sevapları kalmasa diyor, o vakit günahları sana yükler.
And then if you have no rewards left, then you will be getting the sins of that person whose rights you have violated, and the sins of the person whose rights you have violated will be transferred from him to you.
Onun için dünyada hakla beraber onun hakkını, herkesin hakkını versin kimse.
Therefore, one must be very careful in this life to be truthful and to respect everyone's rights.
Bunu kandırdım, bana kazanç diye zannetmesin. Kazanç değil,
you must give what is due, and you must respect everyone's rights, and you must not usurp anyone's rights. Don't think that you have gained an advantage by exploiting somebody's rights, by violating somebody's rights.
Zarardır.
There is no benefit in taking advantage by usurping a person's rights. On the contrary, there is nothing but harm in it.
Zarar dünyada gidebilir, o zarar daha yaşarken insanın hakkını verirsen o şey yapar. Yok sana helal etmezse o vakit çok zordur.
But if you have violated somebody's rights and you are still alive, then there's still a chance for you to seek the person's forgiveness and to make up for it. But if that person does not forgive you, then it will be difficult for you on the day of judgment.
Onun için ya daha insan hayattayken kimsenin hakkını yememeye baksın.
So while you are alive, you must be very careful throughout your entire life to not violate a person's right.
Hakkı varsa insanların onu da gidip helallaşsın.
And if there's something due, or if you owe something, or if you may have violated a person's right, then you must give back what is due, and if you have violated a person's right, you must ask that person's forgiveness.
Onun haklarını versin. Şimdi çoğu insan Müslüman geçiniyor ama insanların hakkını yer.
There are many now who claim to be Muslims, but they violate each other's rights.
Hem manevi olarak da olabilir, sırf maddi olarak değil.
And this is not only from a material perspective, but also people violate each other's rights spiritually.
Onun hak olan şeye göz yumar, onu zarara sokar.
And a person may willingly and knowingly put a person into danger in order to gain some advantage, and may have thus violated that person's right because he was the reason to put him in danger.
O da hak yemektir demek.
That also is a violation of a person's rights.
Sen oraya sana fırsat verilmiş ki hakla beraber olmaya, hakkın aleyhine yapsan o vakit çok büyük günaha girmiş olursun.
We are in this life to be standing with the truth and to be truthful. And if we are not truthful, if we are not loyal, and if we do not if we violate other people's rights, then we have committed a very harmful and very bad thing.
Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem o hele en kötüsü yalancı şahitlik.
And the worst one can do when it comes to the violation of a person's rights, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, it is to bear false testimony.
Yalancı şahitlik, Peygamber Efendimiz ona bir hadisinde en kötü günah yalancı şahitlik.
In one hadith it is mentioned that our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that the worst of all sins is to bear false witness.
Demiş. Sonra gene yalancı şahitlik demiş.
And then he repeated. He said the worst of all sins is to bear false testimony. And he repeated, the worst of all sins is false testimony.
Yalancı şahitlik demişler. Sahabeler demişler ki keşke artık Peygamber Efendimiz'in bu söylemesi o kadar tekrarlanmış ki yani bu yalancı şahitlik demek hakların en kötüsünü yemektir.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, it is reported that he kept repeating this. He said false testimony, and then he repeated it so strongly that the companions of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, could no longer endure that, and they wished, and it's reported that they said they wished our beloved Prophet would have stopped because they were so affected by it. And this was to underscore how bad it is to violate a person's rights. And what is the worst type of violating a person's rights is to bear false testimony against the person.
Onun için yalancı şahit olmamak için hakka manevi olarak da dikkat etmek lazım.
Therefore, when it comes to violating and respecting each other's rights, one must be careful, not only from a worldly perspective, but also spiritually, when it comes to, for example, bearing testimony and not to be a false witness.
Sırf maddi olarak değil de manevi olarak da işte bu.
People do not only have rights from a material perspective, but also from a spiritual.
Şeydir. Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Allah nefsimize uydurmasın.
May Allah Almighty protect us from following our egos.
Nefsimiz kötüyü güzel gösteriyor.
Our ego makes the bad appear good.
Onun için Allah muhafaza etsin.
And therefore we must seek Allah Almighty's protection.
Amin. Allah tevfik. El Fatiha.